Hey everybody, Big Papa Port here, Will Port. Hey, I wanted to give you a almost 2-year update. I was going to wait till April, but I really wanted to get my message out there and just let you know I'm doing good. So this is a very positive message. I've gotten a lot of great responses to everybody that watched my 1-year post-op from spinal fusion surgery video. A lot of people have watched my 3.5 weeks out from spinal fusion. A ton of people have followed me on Instagram at Big Papa Port. And I've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of feedback, and just a ton of support. So first off, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's watched my videos, who has checked on me, who has supported me, and who has asked me questions. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. So many people, I took a break from YouTube due to work and stuff that was going on, and people took the time to find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, and I really appreciate that stuff. Y'all have pumped me up, and I truly think y'all are one of the reasons that I've been successful. I do want to apologize for a handful of people. I don't know what happened, but I did a YouTube update on my phone recently, and when I did, I saw that from about 3 weeks to 7 weeks out, there were about 40 messages that I don't know how I missed them, but I completely missed them, like getting the notifications. Y'all commented on my video, so I apologize. I spent an hour this morning trying to go through and respond to everybody, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and make this video today and just let you know where I'm at. And at the end of this, I'm gonna answer some questions. So, a little background. I detailed the stuff very detailed in my other videos. I'm gonna put the links down at the bottom so you can go back and check those out. But long story short, 2014, I was overseas, ended up, thought I'd injured my leg. Turned out I had fractured I broke my L5. Came back, I was busy, so I really didn't understand what had happened. Went about over a year with what was essentially a broken back, and eventually ended up identifying that, I had a broken back. It wasn't just a pinched nerve, it wasn't just a leg injury. Had a failed microdiscectomy. Honestly, I think it failed because of my own mistakes. When they went in, they cleaned everything up, and I went back to work after like 5 days, and I was doing a desk job at the time, and I thought it was going to be okay, but truth is, it wasn't. And there was a specific instance where I ended up picking up my daughter because she needed me, and I think that's one of the reasons that particular surgery wasn't as successful as it could have been. Things got really, really bad. I actually asked the doctors to amputate my leg because the pain was so bad, and I got sent to a new doctor, Dr. Ken Burkus at the Houston Clinic in Columbus, Georgia. This guy's my hero. He completely helped me get my life back. He's an orthopedic surgeon, and he agreed to go in, did a fusion, and I woke up in ICU after about a 6-hour surgery for the first time in 2 years with no pain in my right leg. And I cannot tell you what that's like, because anybody that's dealt with nerve pain, like I used to think, my daily life with nerve pain for over 2 years was a pain level of a 6, 7, sometimes an 8. And I used to think I knew what a 6 or 7 was, but until you actually deal with nerve pain and you deal with it all the time, like what I used to would call a 6, when the doctor asked me on a scale of 1 to 10, what kind of pain are you in? I say a 6. Well, those days, before I found out what nerve pain was, those are really probably like 2s or 3s. And it was horrific. Had the surgery, great success. I detail everything that I went through in the other videos, so I want you to check those out, especially if you're getting ready to face this yourself. I really want to tell you kind of where I'm at now. I can tell you it's March the 4th, 2018, so April, so I am 11 months out, 23 months out from my surgery, so I'm a month away from being 2 years away from my surgery. There's absolutely nothing that there's nothing I can't do anymore. If the Army would let me, I could go and I could jump out of an airplane and do that stuff. I lift weights. I just went and I maxed out on the bench. Now, it took me a while to get here, but I'm bench pressing 260 pounds again. I deadlifted, I think, 325, 330 pounds a day, and I'm squatting probably 250. I am doing obstacle course races. I'm signed up to do a triathlon this summer. I am running again. I have a note from the Army that says, I only have to run to evade enemy fire, in a deployed situation. But the truth is, if you're in the Army and you don't run, then you're in a different Army, because things take place while you're running. So I don't run a ton because I don't necessarily like it, and I don't think it's the best thing in the world for me, but I still run twice a week. Once a week I will do I call a longer run, a 2 to 3 mile kind of easy run, and then once a week I try to do sprints. You know, what people call 30-60s. I'll sprint for 30 seconds on a track, and I will walk for 60 seconds, and I'll do probably 8 to 10 of those. So I'm running, I lift, I do obstacle races. I can lift my kids. That was the worst thing. I went 2 years without being able to lift up my kids, without being able to hold my kids. And hugs, like, that is the greatest thing in the world to me. And I'll throw a video on here of me with my teenage daughter on my back doing squats with her the other day at the beach. I completely have my life back. So this is a positive story. The reason I made my first videos was because I got on YouTube before my surgery. I was scared shitless, and I was looking for encouragement. I was looking for stuff, and with the exception of one guy, everything I found was negative. Since I've posted these videos, I can tell you I have had so many people reach out to me that are success stories. I can tell you that the recovery, it is a true 12-month recovery. One of the biggest things that you go through, you know, a lot of people go through depression and different stuff like this. I put on weight, I drank a lot for a while there, but the biggest thing is that people get in their mind that this is, you know, 90 days after surgery, 120 days after surgery, they're supposed to be better, and you're not. I didn't fully get off of medications till about 7 months after surgery. The heavy narcotics, at least 90 days, and then I still took them periodically, like as needed, you know, maybe once or twice a week for the first 5 months, 6 months. It was 7 months before I really got off of medication. So this is slow. You got to take it slow. If you think in your head, if the doctor, you know, if anybody that says 3 months, or if you have in your mind that you should be at this point at 3 months, just double that. You should be at that point at 6 months. It takes a long time, but I can tell you, if you're patient, it will be worth it. Now, a couple things that I completely attribute my success to. I had a positive attitude this whole time. You know, this happened to me. You know, I'm one of those people, I believe when things go bad, you get about 3 days that you can wallow in it, and then after that, you got to drive on. And that's what I did. I had a positive attitude. I went into this thing. I needed to get my life back. For me, I wanted to get what I call my hard to kill status back, and I worked my ass off. But I worked my ass off smart. I listened to my doctors. I walk a lot, but a lot of times I'd only walk 5 minutes at a time, but I was walking 3-4 miles a day, 5 minutes at a time. So I might walk every 20 minutes or every hour or something like that until, you know, now I'm doing 12-mile ruck marches with 50 pounds on my back again because I'm in the Army. So I can do those things again because I took my time and I listened to my doctors, and I kept a positive attitude, and I decided I was going to be successful. I was not going to be a negative statistic. Nutrition. I can tell you that right after my surgery, before my surgery, after my surgery, initially I ate like crap. You know, I kind of turned to, I went away from booze, which I'd used to numb the pain, and I turned to food. And that was stupid. Somewhere in there, I started getting my nutrition straight. I actually read the book, The Revenant, where Hugh Glass gets mauled by a bear, and he has to do some, like, he talks about nutrition, and like he craved things, and man, I started eating liver. I started really getting after, you know, protein shakes, and I started looking at what I was putting in my body to fuel my body, and really look at it to help speed my recovery process. I had to quit smoking my cigars, which I love, for 6 months, because nicotine screws up the fusion. So like, if you dip, if you smoke, any of that kind of stuff, you're gonna have to quit it for 6 months. But I smoke a cigar once or twice a week now, so you know, it comes back, and I've got my life back, so it's okay. But you got to get your nutrition right, because I tell you, if you're carrying around extra weight, you got to lose it. If you're not eating the right foods, you're not getting those vitamins and minerals that your body needs, it's going to take it longer to heal. Mental barriers, you know, so for the first year, I was lifting weights a little bit, but I really wasn't getting after it in the gym. I was getting after it with body weight, stuff like this, and it was probably a good 15 months after surgery, so figure August, September of last year, you know, I was still only benching like 135, but I would do high reps. I was doing squats with like 65 pounds on my back, and I was doing high reps, and you know, kind of same thing with deadlifts, because I had some mental barriers to this stuff. I was a little scared to push myself, and somewhere in there I was like, you know what, I think my body's ready. So this is like it. Now granted, this is really 18 months after surgery. I started putting some weight on, and in 3 months, being smart, really working on form, I got back up to, like I said, today I was benching 260 pounds in the gym. I was deadlifting 325, 335 something where, and I'll do squats tomorrow, and I'll probably be around the 250 mark. Still been a little, haven't gone up as high on the squats. My legs are all for it, but I still feel like my core, I'm much more interested in form right now than I am in, and I'm building that strength back up than I am just chunking big weight. Let's see. But that was all in my head. I just had to get out of my own head and just decide I was going to do it. But I had to wait. I'm telling you, you got to go slow. I can't say that enough. To answer some of the questions that I've been getting. So, recovery, like I said, it's a 12-month recovery. Anything before that, you're not recovered. I'm sorry. It takes time, and you just need to get that in your head right now. And if you can get that in your head right now, and you look at the future, and you look at the 1-year mark and the 2-year mark, and you set small goals to get you there, you will be okay. I promise you. When did I know I needed surgery? You know, I get a lot of messages from people that they've been going through stuff for 6 months, or 6 years, 12 years, you know, and they've put off surgery and all this kind of stuff. I'll be honest with you. If you're listening to your doctors and you're following their advice, and they're telling you you need surgery, and you've done physical therapy or epidurals, or you know, for at least 6 months, and you've gotten no relief whatsoever, and your doctors are encouraging you to do surgery, then don't just rule it out because you're in your 20s or 30s. If they're telling you you need it, and you've put in the work, and you've actually like followed what they said, and then you probably do need surgery, and that's okay. I was scared shitless of getting surgery. I really was. I'd never been under anesthesia. I was worried that my life wouldn't be the same, and at first it wasn't, but now it is. You know, maybe there's a new normal. I'm a little smarter when I do stuff, but I've got my life back because of the surgery and because of the recovery. You know, it's not just the surgery is only one part of it. You're responsible for 90% of it. Your surgeon does 10%, maybe 15%. You're responsible for the rest. But if you've been dealing with this for a while and you've been putting it off for, I'd say a minimum of 6 months, physical therapy, treatment, medications, TENS units, stuff like that, and you're not getting any relief whatsoever, talk to your doctors and be honest. You got to communicate. If you communicate with your doctor's going to talk to you. If you've had surgery, if you are told early on you need surgery, stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with getting a second opinion. Don't worry about hurting your doctor's feelings. I can tell you, I fired my first surgeon. I need you to understand the difference between a neurosurgeon. They really deal with the nerves really well, stuff like that, and orthopedic surgeon. They deal with the spine and joints and kind of structure and stuff like that. When I say structure, you know, structure, the way things work together. They have a different philosophy about how they go to fix you. A neurosurgeon is going to look at it at fixing the nerve. Orthopedic surgeon is probably going to look at it as fixing the structure. A physical therapist is going to try and fix it by not having surgery. So take everything, you know, seek out good people, take their advice, but there's nothing wrong with getting a second opinion. And especially if you've had one surgery and it didn't go well, don't just accept. I was told by a doctor, hey, everything's good. You're just gonna have to take pills for the rest of your life. And you know what? I couldn't accept that. So I went back to the head of neurology and asked him to amputate my legs since I was in so much pain. And he sent me to another doctor, a different type of doctor, from a neurosurgeon to an orthopedic surgeon. And some people, neurosurgeons are great. It just depends on what you need. And this Dr. Burkus, man, he fixed me. He fixed me. He believed in me and he fixed me and he did the surgery, and I haven't looked back. So get a second opinion. And if the second opinion sucks, get a third opinion. This is your life. This isn't the doctor's life. If it's been 6 months, you know, if it's only been 3 months since you had your surgery, okay, you got to take time. It takes time, but this is your life. So get a second opinion, get a third opinion. I got a third opinion, and it worked out for me. Let's see. So after 1 year of surgery, I've had no pain at all, no nerve pain, and no what I'd call hardware pain. I will occasionally bump my hardware. When I do, it hurts like hell for about 2 to 3 seconds. It's like a little shock of electricity. But even that barely happens anymore. And I have to catch it just right. So after a year, no pain whatsoever. I think it was 7 months that I'd quit taking all medications. The last thing I came off of was the Neurontin, because every time I tried to come off of it, I had a lot of bad side effects, and I had to wean off of it. So 7 to 8 months, I got off of the Neurontin. The reason I was on an antidepressant was it has a side effect of dulling nerve pain, and I had a lot of nerve pain. I have been asked recently about, people watch my YouTube videos, they watch my Instagram, and I do a lot of jumping exercises, burpees, box jumps, stuff like this. You got to be careful with this, especially at first, because that jolting, that's bad, right? So you don't want to do any of that until after your doctor tells you that your fusion is complete. I think that was like 8.5 months for me before I started doing any of that kind of stuff. Now, when I first did, I want to show you the difference here. So I used to be really into CrossFit, really into lifting. So I wore the CrossFit type shoes. These are great. It's got a low arch, low heel lift, stuff like this. Not a lot of cushion in here. It's not a minimalist shoe, but it's kind of flat, doesn't have a ton of cushion. I went out and bought me a new pair of shoes, started lifting, great for lifting, right? Started doing box jumps, and the box jumps, man, something just did not feel right. After I was doing the box jumps, I was doing burpees and stuff, and I kind of started thinking about it. You know what? These are my running shoes. These are my Brooks Adrenalines. I've been wearing the same type of running shoe, I think since 2006. I buy the new model, last year's model every year. See the difference in the heel? Look how much more cushion you have. Can you see that? Yeah, you get a little extra heel lift with your lifts and stuff like this. This is what I do all my workouts in now. So running shoe is built for running. It's built for cushion absorption. Maybe I lose 10 pounds on my deadlift for my squat, but I can do box jumps, I can do burpees, I can do long jumps, I can do all that stuff with no pain. And that cushion, I think, helps. So I encourage you, at least for me, go into a minimalist, a lifting shoe for anything other than just lifting. Don't do it. Get you a good pair of running shoes, something with some good cushion support, some good arch support, stuff like that, especially that heel area. Man, wear them and just learn to thrive in them, because that's what I did and it's worked for me. Yeah, so I'm gonna throw for the next probably couple minutes, I'm gonna throw some videos up here just showing you the things that I can do now. This isn't to show off, this is just to let you know you can get back to being a beast. You can get your life back, because that's the most important thing to me, was getting my life back, getting my family back, being able to do stuff with my kids, being able to perform. Right after I made the 1-year video, I went through and I got accepted for a company command. So I've been a tank company commander in the Army for the last year, and I absolutely love it, and I've been living my dreams. And I got to live my dreams after breaking my back, after having 1 failed surgery, and after having my spine fused by a competent doctor, and by having a positive attitude and getting after it. And if you can keep a positive attitude and you can just listen to your doctors, you'll be good. I'm gonna put the links to my 3.5 week out at post-op video. I'm gonna put the links to my 1-year post-op. I encourage you to find me on Instagram. I post stuff on Instagram all the time. I'm probably the most interactive on there. I'm definitely here on YouTube. I try to post a couple videos a week, but find me, Big Papa Port. It's the same name. All right, I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing about your situation down in the comments. Hey, if you have somebody that's going through, they're facing back surgeries, they've had back surgeries, or any of those back issues, hey, please share this video. I want to get my message out and let people know that it can be okay and that they can be successful. Everything out there is not negative. I could tell you, it's not sunshine and rainbows. You got to put in some work, and there's going to be days that it absolutely friggin' sucks. But I can tell you that's not the norm. And you're going to get to a place where you can get your life back, and that's what it comes down to, y'all. So thank y'all so much for your support. Y'all encourage me. Y'all are the reason I keep making these videos. I do it for myself, but really I know there are people watching, so it encourages me to keep making videos, putting things on Instagram, putting things on YouTube. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Grab a teenager and you squat. Woo!
Hey, one thing I wanted to throw out here at the end, a lot of people have asked me what kind of chair did I buy from Staples. I bought this chair for 40 bucks at Staples. It's just a straight back chair, nothing really fancy about it, but it's not a recliner, and that's the chair I bought.